Hello. I don't know how many people we got in here yet, but we're live. So I'm just going to hook in here on my iPad so I can see what's kind of going on in real time. If there's anybody in here, how's my audio? If there's anybody in here, how's my audio? Oh, that's good. I just checked it. Perfect. So we got two people in. Zen Ginger, thank you for moderating. I'm going to need a moderator today because I'm going to try to do something kind of cool today. First, we're going to start with just a little bit of general shrimp talk. If anybody's got any questions or comments about my shrimp tanks in the past, or questions about them, or questions about your own that I might be able to help you out with. I got a little bit of news about what's going on with me coming up here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to set up the second camera I have behind me, right over there. That tank down in the corner has been started. I haven't even tested the ammonia yet to see if it's totally cycled. I started it with a seeded sponge filter, but it is Amazonia ADA, so it takes a little while for the cycle to catch up. But an ammonia test will tell you right away whether it's ready for shrimp or not. And I'm going to put some Caridina shrimp in it, and I'll show you very shortly which Caridina shrimp I'm going to put in it. But what I'm going to do is I want this to be interactive. I don't care if I got 6 people watching or if I got 60 people watching. I want it to be interactive because for anybody who's into it and wants to hang around for however long this takes, we're going to put that tank together. We're going to plant it at least and design it. I have lots of plants and stuff we can put in it, cholla wood and whatnot. And yeah, we'll let you guys on this live stream. This is your guys' tank to design, essentially. And I will put it together. I'll set the camera up on the tank as we're doing it. And I'll show you the selection of plants that we have. And like I said, any stones or cholla wood or anything like that, I'll get that together. And we'll see about doing a tank here. So I'll show you in a minute what is going in that tank, but I can tell you now what it is. It's going to be my red King Kongs that I'm separating from the others due to quality. One's a different quality than the other. I'm not going to say one is better than the other. I guess price-wise, probably one is better than the other. More red on a red King Kong is better. So the ones that have clear splits between the red and the white in their body, I'm going to move to a different tank, and those are going to be for sale. Yeah, essentially my call King Kongs, the ones that I don't want in my breeding program, but they would quite frankly be great for somebody else's who's starting out. I'm just getting a little bit more picky. I'm getting a little bit more up on my grading of shrimp. Not saying I'm like there for grading shrimp, but I'm pretty good at grading shrimp now. Yeah, so and that's a great. I want to continue with my breeding program, so I'm getting lots of shrimp in that tank, and so I got to start separating them, calling them out, getting them out before I want certain ones to breed together, and I want other certain ones to breed together. So to do this, I have to set up another tank. So the first thing we're going to do with this tank when we get at it is very simply an ammonia test. We're going to do an ammonia test, which is simple, and for anybody who hasn't done one before, you'll get to see how to do it. They're really, really easy to do. So I'll get caught up on this on the chat for a second. And I'm sorry, I do have a bit of a delay on my computer with the chat. But hello, Daniken Aquatics. Nice to see you too. F&S Fish Room, hello. Nice to see you too. And that's all we got going on. So what do you guys think about my idea for this live stream? I don't know. Let me know. Am I crazy? Or y'all think it's a waste of time? Or do you think it's a good idea and you guys want to build one of my tanks for me. What do you think? All right, got one vote for cool. We got 2 votes for cool. And hey, we only got 4 people voting, watching. So hey, that's 50% of us. So we'll do that. But also, I'm going to go through some other stuff here. I got some news about me and what I'm planning on doing in the very near future. So I'm a member of an aquarium club, the Barrie Regional Aquarium Society of Simcoe. And we have speakers come to our clubs and do talks on different aquatic subjects. So I guess the next couple of weeks, what I'm going to do is I would like to put a presentation together for keeping and breeding Caridina shrimp. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a presentation together. I'm going to put it out there and see if clubs want me to come to their clubs and speak about the topic. I feel like I've dove into the topic enough to be able to speak. I would say, I don't want to say educated on the topic. I am educated on the topic, but I'm also just wisdom on the topic, just what I've learned from hands-on mistakes I've made and everything else to get to where I am with keeping shrimp. And I consider myself a successful shrimp keeper. I have a system, I stick to it, and it seems to work for me. Oh, awesome, Zen Ginger. Thanks for putting that up there. But yeah, I guess my thing is I can go on camera. Believe me, I'm nervous right now on camera, but I'm not as nervous as I am in front of a lot of people talking. I do our club auction. I am the auctioneer for our club auction many times, so I am used to speaking in front of people. But I do get nervous, and it's going to take me out of my comfort zone. But I'm willing to do it, and I would like to do it. I actually enjoy coming out of my comfort zone from time to time. So I think it would be cool. I guess what I want to achieve out of doing the talk is basically a layman's version of how to keep shrimp. I don't have big, expansive words. I'm not a highly educated person. Anything else, but what I do have is a good work ethic, and I remember what I've done, and I can always duplicate what I've done that I know works, and I cannot duplicate what I've done that I know it doesn't work. And that's how I keep shrimp. Essentially, I take some information from some people, some from others, some of my own intuition, and I put it together, and I come up with a system, and I stick with it. The system you're going to see today for how I've started this shrimp tank to where we're going to go with it is the exact same as I do for every single shrimp tank. So that's why I wanted to do it as a live stream, so you guys can see exactly how I'm going to do it. And it's probably like the most pain in the ass tank in my fish room to work on. So it should be interesting. Excuse me, just going to wet my whistle here a bit. So yeah, that's cool, and that's what I'm going to be working on for the next couple of weeks. I enjoy going to different clubs too, and I think that's the the best part about it. If I actually do get to go and speak at a few different clubs, is meeting different people from the different clubs, and yeah, just it expands my knowledge of the hobby, because I meet new people who do things totally different way than I do it, and I take the positives from what they do and add it to what I do. It's as simple as that, and this is why I offer these live streams, so you guys can do the exact same thing. Yeah, it looks like fun. I've seen a lot of speakers. I have not spoke at a club yet. I'll throw this up there. That is my my club. There's a Facebook page as well. I say my club. I'm a member of this club. It's not my club. It's a very small club. We have an auction coming up on March 29th, actually, and it'll be a big auction. It's usually over 2,000 items go through this auction, so it's a fair size. So F&S Fish Room says I can't have 25 shrimp. I can't have shrimp 25 tanks, and they will all eat shrimp. All your fish will eat all your shrimp. Yeah, that brings me to a pretty good point. That's a pretty big question for people. A lot of people, shrimp's just not enough for them in the tank, so they want tank mates for their shrimp. There really isn't any. Honestly, the only tank mates I ever put in with my shrimp is if I have a few small like babies, and I'll grow them out to 1.5 inch bristlenose plecos. I'll put in. I haven't noticed them eat any of the shrimp. What they do, they definitely don't help the shrimp by putting them in there, to be honest. Because what they do is they eat the shrimp's food. They're competing for the same food, and a bristlenose pleco will outcompete a shrimp for food. So if your tank is not being heavily fed, then your shrimp aren't going to get what they should be getting, because the bristlenose are taking it from them. So then you start heavily feeding. Now you're adding more pollution to the water, everything else. Bristlenose are dirty, which requires more maintenance and more water changes. So even just by adding bristlenose plecos, you're not doing your shrimp a justice. Even though I do have bristlenose in most of my shrimp tanks. So I think we're going to get at it. I'm going to go and grab the other camera. I've already invited it to the chat, and just have it charging right now. But it should be charged up enough. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to grab that camera, and I'm going to start walking you through what we're going to do. So I just use my iPhone as my camera, but I have to accept the invite here. I use StreamYard, and this is the easiest way I've found to run 2 cameras at once here. Okay, so yeah, we're in. Okay. Hello, Maple Street Aquatics. I don't know, maybe someone can fill you in a little bit on what's going on, but what I'm doing is we're going to put a fish tank together for Caridina shrimp. Okay. So this is my red and black King Kong shrimp tank. And I have many calls, like this guy right here. To me, he's a call. This guy is good. This guy is good. This guy I'll probably keep because he's has a little bit more red on. But anyways, we're getting and oh, here's Gizmo. The kitties always bug me when I'm at the bottom tanks here. This is the tank we're gonna work on. So I'm gonna set this camera up on this tank right now. Actually, wait, before I do that, I'm going to show you the choice of plants we have. I have this tank right here that is all plants. There's some guppies in there, but these are all extra plants. So I got Cambodia, Erotus, there's a bunch of Rotella in the back, whatever this red plant is up front, whatever this plant is. We've got all kinds to put in. So that's our selections for plant. do have moss as well and guppy grass. And of course, we have water lettuce because that's all I have around here. Yeah, that's a pretty good view. If I can get that. Try and set it up so I can work on it and show you guys what's going on at the same time. Oh, a lot of glare. Push that light back a bit. Still a lot of glare. One sec, guys. I just want to get rid of that glare. Okay, we got it. Okay, FNS Fish Room, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I have a hard time. I have a very hard time catching everybody's live streams as well with my hectic schedule. Who else we got in here? Gnarly Fish Tanks, how are you? Yes, thank you. I have lots of crystals, lots of King Kongs, lots of blue bolts, and we're going to in the other camera you're looking at. We're going to plant this tank, but first thing we're going to do before we plant it is we are going to do an ammonia test on it. So just to catch everybody up to where we are right now and where we're going with this is I've already had Amazonia ADA in the tank for about 2 weeks, but that is a very seasoned sponge filter in there, and I'm hoping it carried the cycle on. And we will be able to know when we do this ammonia test. So that will tell us everything we need to know. So I'm basically starting out from nothing, showing you guys how to build a shrimp tank. Now, when I did put the Amazonia ADA in, I also put in the bee shrimp powder with it. I follow the directions and I try to keep my TDS at about 100. Okay. I've had Crystal Reds for a while now with Eco Complete. They have not produced any shrimplets. Should I swap out substrate for something else? I don't know. I've honestly never used Eco Complete. And people, I'm looking at the bag right now and I'm lying to you about what the substrate actually is in this tank. It is not Amazonia. It is Fluval Stratum. I'm looking at the bag right now and I forgot I bought that bag of Fluval instead of Amazonia, but it's very good as well. Fluval is very good as well. I do prefer the Amazonia, so maybe it will be actually cycled earlier. Sorry about that, but I'm looking at it. I don't want to be a liar, so it is. That's what it is, Fluval Stratum. Almost all my other tanks have Amazonia ADA. I don't know. It might not be the substrate. So what the substrate does for you, Gnarly, is it buffers your pH. It takes the KH out of the water and it buffers your pH. So I guess first what you need to do is get a test kit. What you need to test for is your KH and your GH. You really shouldn't have any KH in your shrimp water for Caridinus. So if you do, that might be a reason. Although they are still, especially Crystal Reds, are still fairly fairly tolerant of that. But as you got to do some testing. Test for ammonia. Ammonia is number one. We're going to do that test right now. Test for ammonia. If you got ammonia in your tank, shrimp hate ammonia. They want absolutely no ammonia in their water whatsoever. And that's something you should test once in a while. In fact, I should even do some testing on my other tanks. But I would be testing for that. What's your water temperature? Not that it's a big deal, I would say, unless it's too high. My shrimp stay at about 67 degrees Fahrenheit, no heaters. Okay, have a good day, Daniken Aquatics. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so check that. Shrimp, these shrimp do great at anything from like 64 degrees to about 75 or so. I wouldn't go much higher than that with them. It will shorten their lives greatly. So yeah, you got a couple of tests to do first, and then I don't know what you're feeding them either. You have to. Well, you don't have to, but I feed a pretty wide variety of stuff to my shrimp as well. You can look back some of my previous videos on that. But yeah, you got a few reasons. I wouldn't blame the substrate right off the bat. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to do an ammonia test. See if this tank's even close to ready. I'll still put plants in it, even if there's ammonia in the water. I'm not going to say they help, because they don't. Because what actually, people say, well, they help suck the ammonia out, but that's not really what we're trying to accomplish here. What we want to accomplish here is to build up enough beneficial bacteria in our tank, in that filter, that sponge filter you're looking at on the other camera. You want enough beneficial bacteria in that sponge filter that it takes care of the ammonia, not the plants that you're putting in. So that's what we're after, and this will tell me right now if it's working, if we have a good cycle going. That's about the most important thing with shrimp is don't put shrimp in until you have a great cycle going. We'll just get this dealt with here. I know I have hard water. Yeah, so there's your problem. You cannot. I use RO water, and like I said, I remineralize it to about 100, a TDS of about 100 with this stuff, and that the crystal reds will not do well in hard water. Yeah, your Neos will go nuts in hard water. They're okay. Neos can go, but Caridina cannot. Okay, we're going to get some water for this test, and we'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to actually tilt the screen down a bit, so this is easier for me. Move this. Okay, so how this test kit works is you have two parts. You have your ammonia, your ammonia test kit, solution bottle 2, and your ammonia test kit, solution bottle 1. Start with bottle 1, give it a bit of a shake. We're putting 8 drops into this test tube of each type. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And 8, we give it a shake and wait. So shake it. It's yellow right now. That's what it should be. I don't know if camera. Shows up, but it's yellow. I have a card, but we'll wait. I can see it's not going to stay yellow, though. So I'm going to say that tank has not completed its cycle. It's already starting to turn a bit of a greenish tinge, and that tells me there's still a little bit of ammonia in, but we'll test it with the card in a minute and see how much ammonia we have. It takes about 5 minutes to get a good, accurate reading. So that's how that's done. Very, very simple. But I guess the most important point of this is don't think it's good enough. Like, don't test your ammonia and then look at it and go, well, 0 is yellow, but 0.25, that can't be too bad. Yeah, it is. You shouldn't have any. Zero ammonia for shrimp. That's what we're going after. So this is almost done. And I can tell you right now, I would not put shrimp in this tank yet. But I'm okay with putting plants in this tank. It's going to come out at a 0.25, but that's okay for plants, but it's not okay for shrimp. So we'll put these plants in, and I will give this tank another 2 weeks before I actually put the shrimp in. I'll test it again in 2 weeks and see how it's going. But that is not going to stop us from designing this tank. Oh, thought my camera just went out there. So let's get some plants together. I say that's our next bet. What plants do you guys want to plant first? This is an interactive thing. This is not me telling you guys what we're going to plant in this tank. I've gone through the plant list with you. There's Cambodia, there's Arotis, there's a really cool red plant. I don't know what it's called. I have a lot of Rotella. I have some moss. Do you guys want to put a piece of cholla wood in with moss attached to it? Zen Ginger's saying the red plant and the Rotella. Okay, well, let's start by putting the red plant in. Do you guys want to use it as a foreplant at the back of the tank, or a mid-ground plant? Remember, at the back of this tank, it's very hard to see because it's a very deep tank. Bob wants to put some moss in. We could definitely put some moss in. We'll maybe put some in. We'll put some in some cholla wood. Okay, Gnarly Fish, thanks for stopping in. Maybe we'll see you later. Okay, probably mid. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to get probably 3 of the red plants. If anybody can look it up, tell me what this plant is actually called. What lighting? What I have, Bob, is I have LED shop lights, bright whites. They seem to grow plants like crazy. So, and it's an active substrate as well. The substrate is fluval stratum. So that's why I still have ammonia in my tank, is because of the active substrate. It's clearly not completely cycled yet. And that was actually a really good point I was trying to get across about cycling your tanks, how important it truly is. Now, before we grab that, I'm just going to look at this myself first so I can. Well, we're pretty close here, but I'm going to call it 0.25. I don't know. The camera's not going to. It looks awful yellow there, doesn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. I'd say that's pretty close to being cycled. What do you guys think? I'd say it does. If there might be a little, when I look at it in my hand, I think there's a little touch of ammonia in there still. Yeah, it does look yellowy. Yeah, I can. What I'll do is actually pick up the camera, the second camera, and we'll go over the plants and have a look at them again for anybody who wasn't in or forgets what plants we do have available for this. So we'll do that. And then while I have it over there, I'll clip some, take some clippings of the red plant. I can make that one red plant into about 3 plants. So we'll take some clippings and see what else you guys want to put in. Okay, so this is what we have. There's the red plant, Bob. Don't know what it's called. Here it is again. I have actually a piece of it floating there that came uprooted. It's right here as well. That's the plant we're talking about. I have it in a lot of my tanks. It's in this tank as well. A couple of them. So anyways, that's the red plant. This is what the Rotella looks like there. This is all Rotella, this tank, essentially. But in my spare plant tank here, I got lots of Rotella back. And as you can see through this Cambodia there, and this Rhodos is a pretty neat plant. As you can see, it grows pretty tall. We've got to cut it back quite often. And whatever this plant is called as well, I forget what it's called. But that's what we're working with. And I'm just going to take some clippings right now. And we'll start the mids. And I'll get some cholla wood. There's that view of that. Okay, we're all caught up here. All right, I'm going to take a couple of clippings of that, and maybe we'll put a couple bunches in the middle. We'll go from there. You guys tell me where to move them from there. Scissors. We use high-tech equipment around here, professional clipping scissors from the dollar store, more than likely. I'm going to take a couple clippings of this, just because I know we're going to use it. This is Rhodos. It's a beautiful plant. So I know we're going to use some of that, so I'll get some of them clipped. Okay. Stick one in there for now. This guy's really hard to anchor. If I have to, I do have some plant anchors. I may have to put a piece on these. Yeah, I'll get done 1 second. So this is what I have for plant anchors. It's a ribbon. And then I just cut it with my scissors. I just take a little piece of it, and that helps weight it down until it roots itself, essentially. So going one plant. Gonna come up kind of neat, I think. This one in front, like so. I'm gonna try it in a cluster. Awkward shape. Gizmo's in here helping like usual. Okay, what's everybody think about that? It's hard to see it. Let's do this, and we can see the whole thing. Yeah, Zen Ginger likes it. Okay, so let's do some cholla wood with some moss. I think that's what Bob would like to see, and we'll do some right now, and we'll do it right here. I'm actually I may switch cameras. Let's try this camera if it shows more of what we're doing. Well, actually it does. So what I'll do is set up the table behind me here, and we'll go with this camera possibly. And maybe we can go with this camera. Let's try it. And we can just with this one. No. Okay. So I'm going to get some cholla. And I'm actually going to steal cholla from another tank that's already sunk, and I will replace it with some that is not sunk. I'm going to steal it from this tank here. Maybe I'll switch to the other. Maybe we'll do two of them. All right, so I have a couple pieces of cholla. I think the other camera works better. That's not very good. Okay, so that's the cholla, and I will get some Christmas moss in a bucket. All right. That's all you need. Right there, that'll do all of this, more than enough. Okay, so simply I take my handy tweezers, piece of Christmas moss, and I just try to tuck it in the holes. I've got pretty small holes. That's not working. Stick some inside it. Try that again. Nicole is the expert at this. There you go. Threaded that one well. Piece. Literally, it'll take like 10 strands per piece, and it'll grow like crazy. It'll fill itself in. It takes very little moss to do this. It's just hard to get it in without breaking it. You have to be so gentle. And I'm not always the most gentle person. Stick that in another spot here too. Essentially what you're trying to do is you don't need to put any on the bottom side, because the bottom side's going to be in the dirt, and it's not going to, bottom side's not going to do well. It's going to die. So just do the top side so it can grow up from there and grow through, and it will. And the shrimp love it. It holds food, holds so many, so much biofilm. Cholla wood essentially is just a big piece of biofilm. If you don't keep cholla wood in your shrimp tanks, I think you're missing out. It's they love it. They're always all over it. When you put like powdered foods in, it all goes and sticks right to the cholla wood when it falls in. It's just like a magnet of food for them. There was a pretty big hole right here in the cholla. I'm just going to stuff it. There. That one is ready to go. Where do you guys want to put it? Didn't ask. Where do you guys want to put this one? Want to put it in the middle, on the side? Do you? Yeah, I don't know. So where do you guys want to put it? Anybody? Is there anybody even watching anymore? Yeah, 8 people. Wasn't sure how this go, but it's kind of neat to see a shrimp tank go together. So I'd say we should probably put it up close to the front. It shouldn't go near the back. But yeah, we'll throw it up close to the front, I'd say. Yeah, Bob, where do you want to put your wood? Front of the red one. Okay. Maybe we'll do it on a bit of an angle here. I try to also give everything a bit of growing space. I don't put any plants right up next to the other because they are going to expand a lot. Okay, I got one more piece of cholla here we'll put in. We will moss it up too. And then somebody else can pick where they want this one to go. Whether they want to go with the one that we just put in or another area of the tank. Stuck in here. Yeah, next like the champ of these. We did a whole bunch of these up to take to an auction. And I did them probably a month before we went to the auction. So they were growing in really nicely. And Nick was a champ at doing these. Yeah, I got these big construction worker fumbly fat fingers. Don't work quite as well with this stuff. For any of you that don't know, this isn't my day job. Actually, I've never made a penny off of YouTube, so clearly it's not my day job. I'm a flooring contractor. I'm a hardwood floor installer. So that's what I do up here in Canada. I have quite a few companies I subcontract off of. I do for our area, if I'd say for a 200-kilometer radius, I do most of the Home Depot installations for this area. So if you buy your hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, anything like that, good chance it'll be me showing up at your door to install it. So that's what I do for anybody that didn't know. So winter time, I slow down a little bit, and I have more time for this kind of stuff in the winter. Summertime, my videos, my fish room, they get a little bit neglected as far as I'm concerned. Now, my form of neglect and what other people may consider neglect are probably two different things. I mean, not doing water changes like perfectly on time. That's what I call neglect in my tanks. Anyways, we have another one ready. Where do we want to put this one? Anybody can pick. I don't care. There's eight people. Looks like Zen. Oh, I need hardwood installed. Yeah, Bob, no. No, he gave it up. He didn't want to look after it anymore. So no, he doesn't. I took over his tank. Yeah, he's not into it. What he is into is doing videos. This is what he likes doing. He has his own channel. Yeah, I'll put it in the link. You guys can check him out. He does a lot of video games and stuff. All right, where do we want to put this piece of wood here? I think on the other side on a diagonal, pointing into that one would look cool. What do you guys think? I'll show you what I mean. Tell me to move it if it looks like shit. Yeah. Yeah, we're thinking the same there, Zen. What do you think of that? Now, if I can find them, I think I have a whole bunch back here. I got some stones. You guys want to do like a pathway up the middle or maybe one across the front? I've never done that. One across the front of small stones. You guys want to do something like that or just stick with plants? I'll get them, and then you guys can have a look. No, it's not for me to decide, Zen Ginger. This is for us to decide. Okay. this is what I have. I have a whole bunch of stones here. Why don't we try a pathway kind of going right across the front of the tank, a couple inches back from the front. I think that look kind of neat. And the shrimp would be there quite often because that's where they get fed. They learn to go to that part of the tank and they'd be walking all over it. Hey, Frank, thanks for joining us. We're building a shrimp tank, Frank. You're welcome to join in. I want everybody's input on it. Tell me where you want stuff. We have plants, we have rocks, we have cholla wood, we have all kinds of stuff. A rock killer? Are you thinking like that or like a rock? A rock. I'll see if I can find a rock. Put these in a bucket first. We got rocks. The shrimp, Frank, will be Red King Kong, Caridina. This kind of cool rock, Bob. Is this what you're thinking? Something like holy? Or we got a piece of lava rock here. Or some type of granite. I might be worried about this rock leaching, making my water hard. So I'm actually going to take that one out of the equation. Same with that one. But this one can go in. If it leaches, it wouldn't be very much. Which one's perfect? This one? I'm going to take it that it's this one. Where do you want it? Right in the middle? I'll put it like right in the middle, and we'll do a little pathway going up to it maybe. I'm going to try something with it. It looks kind of neat. Keep stealing from this tank. Some else just take the lid off of it. Try something on a piece of cholla wood. Actually, I can. Good. Look at that. Seen that little hole? And it actually fits a piece of cholla wood in it. Yeah, that's Gizmo you're looking at, Bob. This is my fish room companion. Anytime I'm down here, Gizmo's down here. Gizmo doesn't leave me alone when I'm working on the fish tanks. Yeah. Okay, I'll put her down. She doesn't like being held like this. Oh, my chair. Anyways, let's put that in, see what it looks like. Might look stupid. Might look awesome. Let's try it. What do you guys think? That looks all right. Yeah, we could even put a little bit of moss in that. If you got a little moss growing out of that, that would look totally cool. Bob, no. Gizmo's just a mutt. Yeah, it's a girl. She's just a mutt, but yeah, she's my kitty. She's right here still. She's my fish room kitty. There, I guess. Oh, she is very nice. Very, very, very spoiled kitty. Okay. So yeah, no, I think that looks neat, guys. And then let's do a little bit of stonework up at the front. I think that'll kind of put this together. And then I have lots of plants for the back. I would say, you guys tell me if you got a different idea, but all this Arotis, and I can get lots more of this. I can actually cut this stuff in half, and it'll still grow up beautifully. So we can literally fill the whole back of the tank with this if we wanted to. But let's put some of these stones in, and see what happens. Yeah, more moss. Yeah, put some moss on that piece of wood. I think that's what you're trying to say there, Bob. Yeah, if we put some moss on that piece of wood that I put in. So how about I pull that out, and we'll do that. Put it back in so it's in the right spot, and then we'll do some small stone work going up to it. I just got to shove some right down inside it, and it should start just popping out everywhere. It's probably best back here. Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Oh yeah, by the time that moss fills in, it's going to be crazy. This is a YouTube built fish tank. Aquascape fish tank. Whatever the words people use for this stuff nowadays. I consider it a build. That's what it's like. But it actually setting a tank up and all that, that's all right. But this stuff is the actual, what makes or breaks a tank. How well it's put together. A bit of artistry, I guess, would be the word. With what you have. I have literally not gone out and bought anything for this project. I just had it. There we go. So if it's in like that, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that looks pretty great. Hi, Diva. How are you? We're aquascaping a fish tank. Well, a shrimp tank for a Caridina shrimp. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, I think that looks pretty neat. Let's, I got a little bit more of this stuff over here. So I'm going to go grab it, the rest of it, and we'll make a neat little trail or something. Didn't have very much more, but let's see what we can do with it. There. Okay. What do y'all think of that? Hey, Maple Street, we're aquascaping a tank. I think that looks pretty neat. So why don't we start doing, well, we could start doing the back of the tank, or we could start, we could take some Rotella and put some Rotella up the front. What do you guys want to do? Yeah, rock piles work good, eh? They just hold lots of bacteria. But I don't know if you've been here long enough to see what we did do there, Maple Street. I put that big rock in, and then I noticed the spot I could fit a piece of cholla wood, and I fit a piece of cholla wood in it, and then we put the Christmas moss through the cholla wood on it, and that looks kind of neat. There's already a little bit of water lettuce in there. Yeah, I'll cut a little bit to show you. I don't know if that's the exact kind of Rotella before I say that's what it is. I'm not that up on my plant names as I'd like to. Anyways, I don't know if you can see it, but that's clippings from it. Zen Ginger, I don't really care where the Rotella is. I would consider Rotella anything from mid to back because it's so easy to trim. You can just trim it back. So yeah, we can do it in the back. We got that for the back. We also have this, I believe it's called a rhodos for the back. It grows extremely tall. So I would put it like right at the back. A little sand along the path might be cool with the color difference. That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. Hello, Petsaholic. Okay. I like that. I like that sand idea, and I have some. The sand I have is very dark, though. It's got some white in it, but it is very, very dark. I don't know if that would be better. I don't know. Because it's basically going to match the substrate. I think if I had white sand, I'd do that, but I don't think I would do it with dark sand. Yeah, I don't have any just straight up white sand around. I don't want to pull it out of another tank either. But that's a great idea. I would do that. Well, let's put some, I'm going to clip a little bit more Rotella here. And maybe we'll put a couple of bunches of it. And kind of mid back. And we'll put the Serotas at the very back. So I'll clip a bit more here. Got some algae in here. A little bit. A lot. Got quite a bit of it here. We can put in pretty small pieces to start with because it grows out very quickly. Some notes I'm going to cut here because it'd be nice to see it go into a tank as well is some Cambodia. Big clump of Cambodia. Maybe we'll do one more of that. Get lots. Now this Cambodia I'm not going to use right now because I need to treat it for hair algae. That it's got a bit on it. Stuff back by the filter had some on it. Oh, destroyed. Okay. That's awesome. Saved everything. Nothing died. Now boost. Sorry, just catching up here. How'd you guys like that that bounce? Anyways, so we got some Rotella here. Let's get it into some little bunches. We'll do it 3 or 4 pieces to a bunch. There's 4 there. We'll plant that bunch. And yeah, we'll do it kind of mid back behind here. Bunch there. It's pretty good for staying without using any weights to weight them down. A couple here. Can you see what? Yeah, that's going to look good. There's 4 there. I like it when they're all different lengths when I put them into the clippings and they grow up at different lengths. Put this one. Yeah. Remember, these will fill in a lot. here. We probably got enough. How do I attach my mosses? Well, you're gonna have to, well, actually real easy. I was just doing it right here. I don't have any on me, but I was doing it as we were going. I just take a little bit, and in the cholla wood, I just stuff it in the holes of the cholla wood, and then I let it grow out essentially, and it does grow out very well doing it that way. Oh, no worries, Madfish. That's exactly how I did it. Was just stuff it in the holes, and that's cholla wood's real nice for that. And because this is going to be a shrimp tank, I want lots of area for biofilm, and that's exactly what it's going to do. It's basically make food for my shrimp when I'm in between the times I'm feeding them, essentially, and for their babies. The shrimplets especially need it. Okay, so I got enough here for one more bunch of Rotella, and we'll stick it in over here, I guess. Right there. I guess. Still helping, are you? And then she's stripped on, and she doesn't really care. Yeah, Madfish, it works. Works really good. And actually, if you go in my channel and you go back to, I think it was even last winter I did it. I think the video is called Cholla Wood from Ma to Ya or something. It was, I did a whole video on how to do the Cholla Wood up. What shrimp are going in the tank? They're going to be Red King Kong Caridinia. That's exactly what those are going to be. They're essentially oh, we're back. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I have lots of Cambodia here. I think we'll do little, maybe 2 separate clumps of this. Separate it out, get the crap out of it. Sorry, one thing I'm going to have to do before we start that is put a charger on that. On that phone camera. We won't be doing this for much longer. Change things around here a bit. Sorry, people. If we don't get a charger on it, it's going to die. We're not going to see what we're looking at. That? That's pretty good. Okay, so maybe do 2 pieces to let's go 3. I need a little bit more if I need to. We'll go 3 pieces to a clump, as I call it. Let's go back here. Put one here. And one more in. What do you guys think of that? I think that looks pretty good, actually. Take a real quick break from doing this. I want to show you guys something else I've done as of late. I don't know if the lighting in here is good enough for it, but I'm going to try and show you this. Just got to wet my whistle for a sec. Okay, so something else I've been working on is, let's see where there's no glare. Where can I stand with this with no glare? It's a very glary room for doing this. And that's not bad. Oh, the glare is crazy. If I turn my screen down, like so. There we go. So yeah, started doing a little bit of art. There's a picture of one of my male bristlenose buckos, a close-up of his head that I had blown up. It's got a cheap frame for it. And there's one of my crystal red Caradinas that I had done up in a big picture. Which I thought that picture turned out really nice. Here's one of my King Kong Missouri Caradinas blown up into a large picture. So what I'm actually wanting to do is build a bit of a studio over here. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's no background of tanks, which I kind of like where I set up because of the background of tanks, because then you guys can see my tanks while we're working. But yeah, I wanted to try blowing up a couple of pictures. I take gazillions of pictures, and I never do much with them, so I thought I would. Okay, so that tank's looking pretty sweet, guys. I think. Anyways, what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty cool. What else you guys want to do? I got the plants for the back. Is there anything else you guys want to put in here? Give me some ideas, and I'll tell you if I have it or not. I might not have it here, but chances are I just may have it too. We'll do the background plants, and then what else you want to do? I think one thing we do have to do to this tank that I haven't done yet is I haven't put any alder cones in it, and that's another, not a must for a shrimp tank, but it's a pretty damn good idea. We haven't put any alder cones in, and we haven't put an oak leaf in yet either. So I'll get those, and we'll put those in. They're going to take some time to sink. They'll float for a couple of days. But essentially, we're getting this tank ready so that when we do our next live stream of this tank, when I'm confident it's completely cycled, even though I think it is, I'm still going to give it at least another week. And we'll do another live stream of putting the shrimp into their new home, selecting the culls and putting them into their new home. So let's get these plants planted. I'll get some alder cones and an oak leaf. We'll get those in, and then we'll have a little better look at what the tank looks like. Maybe some more question A, I don't know. Wrap it up, whatever. But thanks for doing this with me today, guys. This is turning out great. So that's what I'm going to put in for alder cones. I even going to put the stick and everything. I collect my own alder cones. So I have the choice to put the whole stick, everything right in. But that's how many I'm going to put in a tank this size. Another piece of driftwood in the back, kind of one up against the back of the tank. That would look kind of neat, leaned up in the corner or something. I could probably do that. That's all I do with the alder cones until they sink. I gotta find my drift. I don't even know where my cholla wood is right now. There it is. Okay. So I found my cholla. Now what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna put one in there, but it's not gonna sink right now. You're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be boiled or leave it for a few days. So what we'll do is I'll show you where I think it's a great idea to put it, but it's gonna have to sink. So I'm just gonna float it in there until it does. And like I said, we'll look on here, but I think if we put it in the back corner, make a mess. Light things, let it out. So we'll let that float, and when it sinks, I'll stick it back in that back corner where I just showed you. That's a good idea, Mad Fish. I guess I could do that. And I seen you ask the question up here. Yeah, I just kind of did a little pathway across the front, just something to break the front up a bit. I don't like putting a whole lot of stuff at the front of the tank because that's where they eat and it gets so I don't know, just something different at the front than the rest of the tank, I guess. Yeah, we could put, so I got plant weights right here. We can do that. Let's see another idea here. Or you could portion out like it fell on the stone so it juts out into the foreground. I think we're going to stick with the original idea. It's getting pretty busy in that middle area there. Still want to be able to see the shrimp, so I think that just might take away from it. So I want one end weighted down essentially. So I'll stick this in like so, and I should be able to just take this out in a couple of weeks. I'll just wrap some of that on it, I guess. Like so. I don't know how much I need. Let's try that. Feels heavy. Should sink. Great idea, Diva. Can you even see it on there though? Floating. Can't see it on that camera very good though. That's work. And again, it's something Moss could put on at a later date too, right? Cool. Well, let's get some of the plants. Yeah, check will be in the mail too. All right, let's get some. I'm going to cut some more because I think we need more of these. This isn't enough. But what I'm going to do, because they will grow very quickly, is I'm going to cut them all in half again. They will grow so fast that I can actually show you a tank I just did like this. Very short clippings. But let's face it, it gives you twice as many plants to work with when you do short clippings. All right, so we got tons of short clippings there. these, I'm probably gonna use my tweezers. The only thing you have to make sure you still do is make sure they're going the right way. Not flatten them upside down. Sure, it sort itself out, but
Hard to do this with the camera, I can't see nothing. This can go off.
okay, camera. Good. Help. Probably can't even see it out of these. The tank is so deep that really anything in the back is very good. Look at. But I'm still totally stoked about raising shrimp in the tanks. The dimensions seem to work perfectly. Other than, like I said, it's hard work. Don't have a lot of substrate. Main reason being, this substrate's like $60 a bag. It's super expensive. And it took over half a bag to put in here. So you're looking at, depending on the size of your tank, 60 to 100 or something. Just for substrate. The Amazonia ADA is actually a little bit more money. Actually, a little more expensive than this. That in there. This. Probably not enunciating it correctly. I believe this stuff is called gross. Or we could do a different kind of plant underneath that piece of wood here. A couple of these. Remember, all this is going to grow in. You could all actually be pretty surprised if you clue in. If you tune in, it is for actually adding the shrimp to this tank. The next live stream I do for that. Oh, my phone's still on. There, that's better. This mic here, my main mic is really nice actually. It's a Yeti. Do you think the path should curve a bit towards the back on the right, like the rock marks a corner in the path? I don't know. Yeah, the way I got that, it kind of almost looks a little segregated, like we're segregating the front from the back. Maybe if we curve both ends in and put a plant put a plant here and put a plant here, but curve that end in and that end in. Let's try it. See what it looks like. That look a little better, maybe. Then we could throw a plant here and a plant here. I don't even know. Actually, what? No. That pops up. I was gonna say I do have a bit of guppy grass. I have one more kind of plant we haven't used yet, and I forget what it's called. But I have it in other tanks here. I'm gonna take a couple of clippings of it. Yeah, that looks better now that I'm looking at it on the screen here. That looks better curved in. Do you think that looks good, Carrie? I think it does. And if we put a plant or two on each corner. So I don't know what this type of plant is. I forget. Bought it at, I believe, Big Al's in Toronto. I'm gonna put three pieces per clump. But right there. It grows tall, but it doesn't grow thick. So I don't think it'll obstruct our vision much. Now, this crack, see line here? This stuff is an epidemic that I just picked off of there. Stuff's crazy. All right. What's everybody think of that? I think my computer's a bit slow here, but I think that looks pretty good. Pretty good. One other thing we're going to do to help those plants out is we're going to put a shot of Flourish Advance in there. What I'm going to do, I don't like to put it straight in. I guess I could since there's no shrimp in there yet. But if I was to just add Flourish Advance, what I was going to do is just put a little bit of RO water in here and then put that in the tank. All right, so I put a little bit of Flourish Advanced, 1 capful to be exact. Now, the one thing I don't want in this tank is duckweed. And there's already some duckweed in there. I am going to scoop all that duckweed out. I'm going to put some water lettuce in. It's easier to control and maintain. Duckweed goes nuts. I have it in most of my tanks, and it does help out. It's got its place, but I don't want it in this tank. What is the advance? Just going to move some stuff here. I think we're done planting, so I'm going to sit down here again, clean up this computer table, and I will answer that question. Okay. So, Flourish Advance. This is essentially what it is. I'll read it to you if you like. Oh, maybe I will. Natural photo hormone supplement for the planted aquarium. Yes, Zen Ginger. It's fertilizer is exactly what it is. It's aquarium fertilizer for your aquarium plants. Check it out. You could look up on it. It's Flourish. If you're wondering, like, what is the advance? I don't know if it actually says what it does beyond being just Flourish, or if this is just their next thing. But I tried both. I can't say as it works better than just Flourish, but it works well. And my plants seem to grow with it very well. So we did it. That didn't take very long. That's good. That tank is going to mature out. We're going to see this tank in, I'm going to say, a week or two. I think my ammonia test actually came back good. Like, it still hasn't gotten dark. Tank looks great. And in a week or two, we're going to put some shrimp in it. All the alder cones will have sunk by then. Yeah, we still got to put an oak leaf in, but other than that, she's set. She's ready. She's ready for shrimp. So we'll do a live stream when I get a chance next week, and we will finish. We will finish putting the shrimp in this tank. If we see anything we want to make adjustments to or anything, we'll do it. But yeah, this went very, very cool. Thank you very much, everybody, for your help with it. How's it going, Fish Tropic? Thanks for coming out. You pretty much missed it. We're just wrapping up now. But essentially, I just had the substrate in this tank, and I had it running with a sponge filter for a couple of weeks. I believe the ammonia is pretty much gone out of it, that it's a cycled tank. And we put it together. We aquascaped this tank together. I took suggestions from the live chat, and we put this together with what I have around my own fish room for ornaments and extra plants and whatnot. So we just planted the hell out of it. We did some cool stuff. Like, if you see that big rock in the middle with the cholla wood sticking out of it, I found a spot I could jam the cholla wood in, and then I put some Christmas moss on it and stuff. So I think it turned out pretty cool for a group effort. Big difference from the start. Hi, Alice. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't think there's any in it right now, Zen Ginger, but I'm extremely cautious when I put Caridina shrimp in, because they just don't like it, man. They don't like ammonia at all. So, yeah, awesome. very, very cool. I think we're going to wrap this up. I think we've completed our mission here. Yeah, so probably next week. And I'm sorry, guys. Everybody wants scheduled live streams and stuff. I can't do it. I can't do a scheduled live stream. Be quite honest with y'all, it fucking stresses me out. Being scheduled and having to stick to that schedule. Reason being, it's not because I'm a prick or anything. I have 4 kids. I got a puppy. I'm self-employed. I'm a flooring contractor, so it's feast or famine for me. When it's a feast, I'm working. Don't have time to schedule a live stream in. And when I'm famine, I'm doing other stuff with the 4 kids and the house and everything else. So once in a while, I get a window of like 1 or 2 hours. I can slip into the basement and nobody's going to bother me or anything, and I can actually get this thing done. So that's what I do. All my live streams are going to be 100% spontaneous. When I have time to do them, I do them. So once in a while, I might be able to schedule something, but not usually. So right, I do have a full plate, especially my work with being self-employed and kids sports, kids in hockey and stuff too. So I do enjoy doing all the live streams. I really do enjoy doing them. They're awesome. It's a way for me to connect with you guys, and you guys can see what's happening in my modest little fish room here, and I can get your guys' input on how stuff's going. Not that to be honest with you, not that I'm out to appease people, because I'm not. It's and I wish more people had this frame of thought of actually giving a shit what someone else thinks about your fish room. You really shouldn't care what someone else thinks of your fish room. I honestly don't care what people think about my fish room, because it's my fish room. It's my fish room. I keep my fish room the way I want to keep it, or within my budget, how I can keep it, how my lifestyle demands I can keep it. And as long as I'm happy with it, it's all that matters. And as long as you guys are happy with your fish rooms, and everybody who has a fish room or even a fish tank, how you keep it and how you set it up is yours. But this was totally fun getting your guys' input on how to organize my stuff. Yeah, because I would have never ever done it. I would have never put a big rock in the middle. I would have never done that. But it looks really cool. So we're going to do it. We're going to see how this tank matures, because obviously tanks look way different about a month after you've set it up. So we'll see how it matures and make some adjustments. Other than that, guys, I've talked enough. So I'm going to end this broadcast. And happy fish keeping, everybody. I appreciate you joining in and helping me out with this. And moderators, thank you very much for everything you guys do. Appreciate it. Take care, everybody, and happy fish keeping. Bye for now.